Hello, and welcome to Recipes with Ben. In today's recipe, I'm using my grandma's recipe to make a holiday favorite, Spritz cookies. Before we begin, it's important to note that these cookies are typically made using a cookie press, which gives them their festive shape. In full disclosure, the first one that I bought actually broke while trying to press the first cookie. So I guess the moral of the story is don't buy the cheapest one on Amazon. Probably buy a nicer one because it will last for a longer time. So this recipe starts with 1 stick of room temperature butter, so be sure to take it out before you start making this recipe, typically the night before, so it can warm up to the proper temperature, as it's needed for when you go to cream it in the first step. So into a stand mixer equipped with a paddle attachment, add the butter in and continue to mix that on medium speed, increasing to high speed until the butter becomes creamy and starts to become whipped. Then add in 1 egg to the butter mixture, followed by a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And continue mixing until the mixture has become creamy and the eggs is fully incorporated. Now, if you don't have a stand mixer, an electric egg beater will work just as well to make these cookies, as shown here. Then add in a half a cup of white sugar, followed by 1.5 cups of flour. Then you want to mix the cookie batter together with your hands to warm it up until the dough becomes almost like a consistency of like Play-Doh, really similar to that of sugar cookies that come in the tube from the store. The next step is to roll out the cookie dough onto a surface so the dough can fit inside a cookie press. In general, you're trying to roll it into a long cylinder that's about 1.5 inches in diameter. Now, the reason mine is so perfectly cylindrical right now is because I loaded it into the other cookie press, which broke, forcing me to push it out, and it actually kept its shape. So to assemble the cookie press, if you're buying it and never used one before, the first step is to unscrew all the parts and then put the desired shape at the bottom of the press. So in my case, I'm going to use the tree attachment. And then add the dough inside and remove any extra for the next round and screw the top on that has the lever to press down. It's also recommended that the cookie sheet be cold and pressing down onto it so the butter will stick to the sheet and not come up once you remove the cookie press. So I tested both a silicone mat and a baking sheet and both work fine, so you can just use whatever you have in this case. Just be forewarned, if you're going to have to make multiple batches, you may need multiple cookie sheets that are cold, or at least put in the freezer in between batches. So then it's time to press the cookies down on the cookie sheet until you can't fit any more on the tray. If you want to make them highly decorated, you can add things like sprinkles or colored sugar or any other toppings at this time. If these are to your liking, then you're ready to bake them in a preheated oven that's set to 400 degrees and cook them for 9 to 10 minutes. Now, due to the high butter and sugar content that are in them, these cookies can go from undercooked to burnt in a matter of seconds. So you want to bake them until the edges are just starting to turn brown. And my second batch came out a little bit better as I was watching them more carefully. And decreasing the temperature from 400 to 375 can also help if you're not being as careful when you're watching it. And that being said, these cookies are meant to be crisp and have a rich, buttery flavor. Once they're out of the oven, then remove them from the baking tray and let them cool in a wire rack before eating. Then place the cookies on a festive plate to serve to your friends and family. And there you have a holiday cookie recipe that'll make everybody happy. Let me know down in the comments what's your favorite holiday cookie, and smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video, and I'll see you again soon.